Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. It's been a busy year in music with a lot of great releases. Be sure to like and subscribe to catch our 2023 album rankings sometime in December, and be sure to catch our upcoming full 26 studio album rankings for the Rolling Stones. We'll do a full breakdown, no telling how many hours that video will be, reviewing each album along with a shorter, condensed list for those that don't want to hear all the details and how we came up with those rankings. Today, though, we are just talking about Hackney Diamonds. So, with me today, don't bite my head off, Tim.
I'll try not to.
And he always tells me straight.
You know I do, especially since I live by the sword.
I think we did that already on the Sweet Sounds video. We went through the whole album.
Oh, you're right. We did.
Never mind. You already messed it up, but that's
Go
still
click the new one. The old one. I mean.
All right. So, yeah, new Rolling Stones.
Pretty big release.
Yeah.
It's a big record. Yes. It's very it's gotten like 4s and 5 stars exclusively as far as I've seen. So yeah.
I heard Pitchfork liked it.
Oh yeah, they didn't. Yeah. But why would they? I mean, I can't say I disagree with them on some points, but they hating, man. It's better than that. That's for sure.
Right, well, I'd say overall I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the Rolling Stones, and I enjoyed it.
Spots, but say it again.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say that I'm not a fan of this band in the least, and I enjoyed the record. I was not offended. Maybe once I was offended, but we'll get there when I talk about a specific song that I really enjoyed until something happened.
All right. Let's do this. I'll do mine. We'll do two positives with one like slightly.
We'll make a shit sandwich.
Yeah, we'll make a shit.
Excellent bread and some shit in the middle.
All right, so Angry. We've already reviewed this song, but I loved it. I think it's the perfect opening track. It's classic Stones through and through, and will get stuck in your head. I like singing the "Don't Get Angry with Me" part to my teenagers when they get all snippy. Get Close. How does Mick still sound so damn good? I love this one. Plus, you can't go wrong when you got Elton on a track. I like the sax solo. Come at me. Depending on you, I love the line, "Now I'm too young to die and too old to lose," because I was depending on you. Music is softer, but mixed vocals really carry this one. Like this could have been on Beggars or Sticky Fingers. It's so damn good. Bite My Head. It's a rocker. You got a Beatle on it. It's top tier. One of my favorites from the record. The lyrics are great. Paul breaks it down. Imagine being in the recording studio when they recorded this. That would. Whole Wide World, another rocker. I'm just astounded at how good this band is. I just keep repeating myself. Going through all their albums, I think the Stones are at their best when they aren't chasing some trends of the times. They just do what they do best, fucking rock and roll. Dreamy Skies, bring out the slide guitars. This one's slow, bluesy, and dreamy. It rolls along at just the right pace, especially after the last two rockers. Mess It Up, love the verses, but the choruses don't do it for me. It sounds very 80s. The lyrics are great, though, and he does hit that high note. Live by the Sword, I like this one. The lyrics were cracking me up. That piano, straight Elton John fire on this one. That's another high point. If you live like a whore, better be hardcore. If you live like by the clock, well, you're in for a shock. If you're living for food, better lick up your plate. If you want to be in fashion, well, you'll be out of date. Driving Me Too Hard, I could see this one being a single. It's a great mid-tempo, perfect sounding single to me. Great guitar work, the harmonies on the verses and the tempo changes. Tell Me Straight, probably my low point on the record. It's a weird placement, being a slow jam right before Sweet Sounds. And I wasn't the biggest fan. I think Keith's got better songs on some past records, but we'll get into that later. Sweet Sounds of Heaven, we've already covered this one, but amazing song. Lady Gaga's vocals are fantastic. Kind of reminds me of Let It Loose from Exile on Main Street, only much better. Rolling Stone Blues, thank you for those that left comments on our last Stones video explaining this one to us. That's neat as that in 2023 they put this song on a record. I love a good wraparound, and this one's 60 years in the making. Overall, I love this record. I'm about a third of the way through the full catalog, and Hackney easily passes a lot of the other records I've listened to. I have no idea where it's going to land in the rankings, but it's a mighty fine entry, and the fact that we got this record in 2023 is still mind blowing. So, what you got, Cole Quit? What's the shit in the sandwich?
It's not really a shit sandwich. It's just, I will probably have much less to say about it than Tim will. I have a feeling. So I figured I'd get mine out of the way real quick because it's not going to be that extensive. You can check out how I felt about Angry and Sweet Sounds of Heaven in our other videos. I'm not going to make us lose clicks because you're too lazy. Go click that shit. I like Get Close a lot. I thought it was a dope song, but unlike Jason, I hate sax solos, and it broke my fucking heart because I was like, this is the third song I guess I've heard from this record altogether, and it's dope. And then I hate all of that so much, and I apologize to people who love the saxophone. I know I'm probably on the minority with that one. I thought Depending on You was a really good song. It's kind of got like some. It's weird to say it's got Tom Petty vibes when I'm sure Tom Petty got these vibes from Rolling Stones to begin with, but that was what my uneducated mind heard.
There was one song I was like, this is kind of Tom Petty. This is probably the one that Cole was talking about.
Yeah. I thought Depending on You was a lot of fun. I was actually running errands when I was listening to it, and I actually stayed in the parking lot until the song was over to go get things. Because it was good. I thought Bite My Head Off is like literally what the Beatles would have sounded like had they had a grunge band in the 90s. It was dope. I really enjoyed that song. I don't really have anything else on my notes except for Live by the Sword because I hated it. I don't like bar rock.
You don't like what? You kind of froze.
Yeah, I know. The internet gods were like, apparently he shouldn't be saying.
Don't be talking shit about Live by the Sword. See?
I'm saying it's a bad bar rock song, and I don't care for Elton John that much. That's all I'm saying, man. It's not my scene. Cora agrees, man. Driving Me Too Hard was kind of fun. I actually really liked Tell Me Straight. I thought I was like, whoa, Mick sounds weird, and then I realized it wasn't Mick. It's Keith. And I was like, oh, cool, even cooler. Because I'm not that familiar with their discography, really. So hearing him sing, probably my first time me hearing him sing, really. Sweet Sounds of Heaven, even Sweet Sounds of Heaven, 7 minutes long. I don't know where I'm going with that. Go check out that video instead of listening to us talk about it. And I love Rolling Stone Blues. I thought that was just such a sweet and awesome ending. If this is the last thing they ever release, it is a perfect coda to their entire career. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, man, I'm not a Rolling Stones guy. I don't know if I'll ever listen to this again, but I definitely did. I enjoyed the listen, except for Live by the Sword. Everything else was great. It wasn't. It's good record. So, Tim, how did you feel, my friend?
Okay. Well, like you, I won't go into Angry or Sweet Sounds of Heaven. We already touched on those songs, and I like them both. Get Close, I thought was pretty good. I really liked the guitars, but I'm not quite sure I'm sold on the chorus. And the sax solo, I don't mind a sax solo at all. And I thought that the riff worked really well under it. And then, I don't think this is the best Elton John song on this album, but he is on there as well. Depending on You, it's, kind of classic Stones country ballad. And I thought the strings on it were pretty cool. Bite My Head Off is great. Definitely a high point of the song. Great lyrics. I love that, much like Stevie Wonder on Sweet Sounds of Heaven, they actually shout out Paul, give us a solo, Paul. And
he does.
Yeah, and I liked that song a lot. Funny lyrics. especially considering they're all pushing, I don't know, 80,
81,
85.
82.
Yeah, they're getting up there. Uh, Whole Wide World kind of sounded new wavy to me, like very 80s ish. I liked it a lot. Dreamy Skies, again, another like ballad type song that they do well, but I thought that all three ballads on this album, you're going to find better stuff like, 30, 40 years ago, even.
Moonlight.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Which is such a great song, and these all have that same vibe, and they're all perfectly fine songs. Just for the Stones, at this point, I'm much more excited when they actually kind of like burn the barn down, as opposed to just kind of staying in their lane. Which brings us to where I think the high point of the album is, and not just because they have Charlie Watts on them. Mess It Up and Live by the Sword are great. They both have Charlie Watts. Live by the Sword even has Bill Wyman. So this is like the last like real Rolling Stones song you're ever gonna get, unless they recorded more that day. Elton John does kill it on that one. Mess It Up, going back to that for a second, I really liked the chorus. It was very dancey. Kind of 80s, just fun. I liked it. And then Driving Me Too Hard, again, kind of ballady. And Moonlight Mile is a perfect example of where they do this better. Even Angie or something like that. Like they're doing it better other places. Tell Me Straight, you got to have a Keith Richards song. Cole Quit mentioned his first, but this has been a thing they've been doing since the 70s. Where
Happy, I think, was a single.
Yeah, Happy. Keith's got a song on every album.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and this one isn't his best. Sweet Sounds of Heaven, I do think, is a great way to close out the album, even though they're not closing it out. They do close it out with Rolling Stone Blues, which is, as you guys both mentioned, it's a great coda. It's a great statement. It's just cool that it's just Mick and Keith, because they're really the only two that have been there the whole 60 years at this point. It's a good album. I really like it. I think it's going to be in the top half of my ranking, but I don't know if it'll be like top tier. But it might be. It's like on the edge. It's really good. The production is great. It sounds very modern, but also sounds very classic Stones, from almost any era. 70s, 80s, even a little bit of 60s going on, but all very modern. So, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
I have no idea where it's going to be in my rankings, but it's better than quite a few records I've heard already.
And you have a point system going on too, so
I've got a crazy point system that I'm not even going to try to explain, but I haven't put the points against this one yet. But it'd be pretty damn high, I'd say that.
Okay.
It's very mathy.
It's very mathy.
I'm going pure on instinct.
Word.
Yeah, see the 80s stuff. I haven't got to the 80s yet, and I'm scared.
See, I know.
I like the 80s stuff. So
sadly,
I like a lot of the 80s stuff, and even in the 90s and beyond. I thought like A Bigger Bang, which was their last proper album 18 years ago. I thought that one was really good.
See, I haven't even heard that one. The last one I heard, I think, was Voodoo Lounge. Some of
that one's really good too. Yeah.
Is that the album where they're all like in the video? They're all really big, walking through the city with hot supermodels.
Yeah. Love is strong.
Love strong. Yeah, that's right.
I like that song. It was fun.
One of my top songs is coming off that record, but it's not.
They've been a great band for 60 years, and there's no reason for that to stop now. Clearly.
Well, if this is the end, I mean, I'm not knowledgeable about everything else other than the songs you can't escape because they're everywhere. But this is a solid ending, bro. That's for sure. Like,
Did you watch their performance for the record release with Lady Gaga?
no.
Like
I
I
have
saw
not
I saw
watched it.
snips of it, and in the comments somebody's like, "Oh, they're past their prime. They need to hang it up." And it's like, what?
They've been saying that though since what,
Yeah, dude,
66?
Yeah, like,
Like,
dude,
I
he's
remember
eighty
30
something
uh,
years
years
ago they
old.
were saying that, you know?
yeah, give it
He's
up.
still moving like a motherfucker at 80 years old. Come on.
It's
Look,
clear
man.
these guys are lifers and are going to do this until they literally cannot do anything else anymore.
Yeah.
And for that alone, like, this isn't a flash in the pan. These guys are lifers, and
And the fact that,
music
like,
fans recognize that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a rock and roll record in 2023. There's nothing else really like it out this year. I mean,
Yeah,
it's special. It deserves all the attention it gets, I think.
agreed. I think it should get more. I
Yeah.
you know, I would like to see this blow up, kind of like reshape the musical landscape.
Hopefully
Um,
there's kids out there that,
yeah,
this is their Rolling Stones record they find and then they go back.
It's
yeah,
possible. Yeah.
yeah. Well, stay
I don't know
tuned
how
because we will
likely.
point you in the right direction.
Yeah. They'd have
Yeah,
to
it's
do
gonna get
something with Young Boy or something for, the kids to listen to it, I think. Or Juice World, or I don't know, whatever dead mumble rapper is hot at the moment.
Well, I mean, you got Elton John and Lady Gaga on here.
Yeah,
What
but
more?
that's also, I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, Lady Gaga also had her peak 20 years ago. Like she's been relevant for a very long time, but I don't know if like kids in high school seriously couldn't give a shit that she's on
Oh,
it.
well, yeah, sure.
I don't know.
But I
That's a
appreciate
whole
it.
nother argument altogether, though.
As an old drunken discographer, I appreciate this record very much.
I do too.
We got numbers. We got numbers. Is it?
I'll give it in the context of 2023, I'd give it like a 9. In the context of the Rolling Stones catalog, I have no clue. It'd definitely be in the higher bracket right now.
Yeah, I think like a good 8.7.
I love your decimal usage. It's excellent.
Because there's quite a few Rolling Stones records I haven't heard, like the '80s stuff. The Bigger Bang I haven't heard. So
See it, yeah. And I think this fits in very nicely with all of that.
I grew up
Yeah.
on the '70s Stones, and that's what this reminds me of. That's why it's really good for me.
I like Paint It Black a lot. That's a really great song.
Yeah.
I was expecting to give this a 6 just because of my general impression of this band in general. Never been a fan necessarily. Never given them a shot, I suppose I should say first, though. But I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to give it a 7.5. And that's coming from somebody who doesn't appreciate this form of classic rock and roll as much as a more modern style.
So
So
what's
that
our overall number?
8.4. It is a solid 8.4, I'd say. I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Law of averages never lies.
Yeah. All right. So
We happy with 8.4? Is that okay with y'all?
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, it works for
Okay.
me.
I like it.
You might be onto something with this math stuff.
It's fun.
We know we are very long-winded, and it took us an hour to get through 5 Tool records. So 26 Stones records probably going to be a 2-parter, maybe a 3-parter. I don't know. So I'll edit a little condensed
It's going to be a
video
fun one
for
for
those that don't
sure.
like to watch long videos.
I have already requested off work for the day after, so I'm ready for it, guys. Let's do this.
Yeah, we'll be in the 90s by then, so that'll be good. All right, so that has been our first reaction review of Rolling Stones' Hackney Diamonds. It's out now. Check it
Get
out
it.
on Spotify. Buy the vinyl copy, even though they won't ship it until the 30th. So I'm getting my copy. Yeah. Be safe. Make good decisions.
And rock and roll.